Hey. Welcome back. Episode 29 is what we're doing today, and we're talking about ancient Egypt. I am your center host, Liam Owens. To the right of me is Easton Bennett, and to the left, Broden.
I think Liam's intros are my favorite intros.
It's always way different.
It's always just like you gotta
switch it up
things up.
Yeah, you never know when you're gonna have to cut something out of it.
Yeah. We gotta turn down on the heater right now because probably catching that a little bit. Nathan, you could put that in the other room, and we won't be able to hear it, but we'd still get some of the heat. You know?
I don't know.
That's a little bit.
That's
better.
what that was.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
The sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was coming off one of the headsets.
Yeah. No, it's these headsets are fixed. You guys can see we got some cables wrapped around the arms because I cut the cords out of the arms before, so we didn't have that annoying hissing noise for you guys. We're still gonna be able to hear that. You might have to put that in the room a little bit.
Like Wrigley Field with the vines on the wall.
Yeah. Ancient Egypt. Yes, that's what we're doing. Ancient Wrigley Field's where the Cubs play.
Yeah, I know. What vines on the wall? Are you talking about these?
In the outfield. Yeah.
I know in the outfield. I know what Wrigley Field is.
Where the Angels are?
No.
In the outfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into some comments. God, it sounded like I was in Boston. Let's get into some comments.
Yeah.
Silence Do Good. This is on what was our last episode? Dinosaurs?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Our last episode that we just
Music.
filmed last
Music.
week.
Yep. Music. Yeah. Gosh, I'm getting it all mixed up. Music episode. Silence Do Good says Elton John was married to a man and Freddie Mercury was once engaged. Yeah. I think I threw out there that none of them were ever with a woman.
I thought it was Elton John was married to a woman for a little bit.
Yeah. Woman. Did I say man?
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely meant woman. It says woman on my sheet too.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. Elton John was probably married to a man too at some point.
Yeah. I'm sure he fooled around with a few.
I think he liked men.
He did. Yeah.
No.
I think him and Freddie both liked men. But Freddie Mercury was also engaged.
To a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
It's true according to this comment.
Yeah. This comment
So that's about as true as anything we ever say.
As true as a
on this
podcast gets. Yeah.
No fluff.
We'll give them that.
Tessa Koenig says, cornucopia, you guys are so funny. One word. He gets there with one word.
Thank you. You know, what can we say except cornucopia?
Yeah.
Right.
What can you do?
Hey.
You just do it.
You watch. Fuck, I always get it wrong. What is it? Like,
Love
like
me or hate me. You watched. It's all you could do.
God, I
love us or hate us. You watch. That's all you can do.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna steal that. That's gonna be our new saying for the podcast. Viva la Pipas. I am so here for the angry goose in this episode. Give him hell, goose. So that's talk about producer Nathan over there.
You made the comments, buddy.
Look at that. You're no longer the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
He's fist bumping over there. God, this is the one time that mic is just ready for you to rip whatever saying you want into it. You're not even prepped. You wanna say anything to Viva? Yep, he's coming. Here we go.
There he is.
Oh, thanks.
There he is. Man, a few words.
Few and far between. Tessa Sukach.
Again? Or is this a different
No,
chick?
it is the same girl.
She goes by her pen name, apparently.
Yeah. One of those is her maiden name and one of those is her married name.
She's double accounting it.
Yeah, has
That'll
to
happen. You guys should touch on the volcano in Yellowstone. Rumor has it, if it erupts, we're all goners.
So they say.
be. Rumor has it, huh?
Yeah. I heard
Floating around at the old rumor mill.
I was down at the barbershop. Yeah. That's all they're talking about.
Did you get a haircut?
Nope.
He's just hanging out.
The Dakota Clipper. So who cuts the Dakota Clipper's hair?
Carrie Ann at JCPenney. She gets me right. She's been cutting my hair for like 13 years.
Really?
A long time. Yeah.
And you just stuck with that look?
Pretty much. Yeah. I go in there and she goes, "What are we doing?" And I say, "Why are you even asking me?"
Just fuck it up again.
Yep. Same thing every time.
Honestly, you got a nice head of hair on you. I wish I had your head of hair.
Thank you.
Because you could pull off so many styles. You had a long mullet this summer.
Yep.
Now you're on to this look. You could do it all.
A little bit of, I wanted what I normally get, which is I fold it over the top a little bit and run it down the side.
Like an omelet?
Yeah. And she thought I said comb over.
Oh.
And so she just changed everything, changed the whole look, and just
turn you from an electrician to now you have an office job.
Yeah.
With one cut.
Mm-hmm. That's all it took. I had to go. Luckily, I was in JCPenney. I went and bought a couple suits, and got dressed to the nines.
You're like, this cut comes with a free tie.
I wish that'd actually be a huge.
You have
selling
to bust
point.
out your old briefcase now.
Yeah.
When was the last time you wore a suit?
I don't know if I've ever wore a suit. And maybe it was like
Have you ever even tried one on?
probably prom in high school or something.
That's
Yeah.
a tuxedo. It's different.
Yeah.
How?
A suit's for business deals.
You can tell just by looking at a tuxedo and a suit that they are different.
One's for like a fancy formal gathering, and one is for executives in
Which
a
one's
penthouse office.
Yeah, one of them you wear to work, one of them you wear to a ball.
We're still not talking about which one's which.
A suit you wear to work. A tuxedo you wear to a ball. I love a ball. I want to go to a ball. Maybe find some lady with glass slippers.
The Met Gala.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, the Met Gala, they wear some wax
That's
shit.
different. Yeah, that's always weird.
That's all the comments we got this week. Thank you guys for commenting. One thing we didn't touch on, we have all the entries for the merch giveaway. We haven't sorted through them, so I guess we'll just announce that next week, beginning of the show. Who won?
Did you get mine?
No. Did you send me a screenshot?
No, it's on Apple.
Okay. Oh, did you leave one?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't checked, but everything up to today will be counted. So if you might even have till, well, no, because we're filming this on Sunday. I was going to say you might even have till midnight tonight, but this comes out Tuesday. So no, you won't. If you're listening to this and you did not enter, sucks to suck.
Yep.
And
SOL.
we'll be doing it again in the future. So just make sure you stay tuned for that. But thank you to everyone that rated and reviewed and commented and everything on the show. It really helps a ton. And we'll announce the winner at the beginning of next week's show. You guys ready to get into the topic?
Let's talk about it.
Ancient Egypt. We're spitballing some topic episodes this week. And ancient Egypt is really what was tickling everyone's fancy.
you were like hard for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why, but there's whenever we text. So for the people listening or watching, how we decide these topics, we pretty much just text in the group chat at some point in the week and say, what do we want to do? And then,
Usually about Saturday.
yeah. And then once someone says something that everyone's like, oh, that would be good, we just roll with it. So really, we just fly by the seat of our pants. And yeah, once you said that, you get that feeling,
Yeah.
Chase
it
that.
just goes through you.
Just a little lightning bolt down there, huh?
Yeah, I felt like I was in a tomb. It like transported me to ancient Egypt, and then I was living through it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not even
You met
close to what I was
Pharaoh
going to say.
and Ramses. What were you?
I was going to say, like, when you get the piss shivers?
Oh yeah, the pivers.
Yeah.
The ships.
There's
They get you.
nothing better than that.
I hate it.
Really?
I mean,
I get it sometimes.
If
I'm
you
like,
take a
then
piss so
I'm just
good that
getting
you start seizing, I
pee
love it.
everywhere.
no, but I think it's you get cold.
You just, it's a
It's
quick
just
little, just like, it just runs down your
It's- I-
back.
I
and it's, ugh.
It's almost like you get.
We're talking about pissing or vinegar strokes here.
The piss shivers. You've been standing there taking a piss at the toilet, and then you just get a little.
Yeah, I get them a lot.
That's
Yeah.
actually a great representation of how it actually
that's
goes.
exactly.
Just
Come
sitting
on,
there
Broden, give
scratching
your
my
best.
belly. I usually have my shirt tucked under my chin and my pants around my knees. It just
The optimal pissing position.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
Good for you.
it's good for public settings.
It's best when someone walks into the men's bathroom and they get to see both cheeks.
Yeah, usually I'm standing between two urinals right on the wall.
You ever have someone try and make a little small talk with you at the urinal?
Yeah,
Worst thing ever.
And then you look over and their pants are at their knees.
It's actually brown.
it's just me sitting there with my shirt tucked right under my chin.
Yeah, do you guys talk to him?
Every once in a while,
Sometimes I just feel like I don't have a choice. I have to.
depends what he says.
Yeah.
He says something a little bit out of pocket. I'm kind of probably just gonna look at him, maybe try and get a little dribbles on his toes.
What if he reaches over and puts his hand in your pocket?
Is the pocket of my pants out? Is he holding on to my pocket, or is he going into the pants?
He goes into the pants, pulls it out, and then holds on to it.
Pulls it out.
Pulls out the pocket.
Oh,
It's already out.
true.
You're at the urinals. I don't know.
I'm probably gonna ask him for a shake if he's already there.
Grab
so
his
I don't
back.
have to reach down there.
No, you don't grab his back. I'm
Grab his back.
I'm at the urinals. I got my hands full here.
So, yeah, use him as like something to hold yourself up while
Yeah,
he's sitting
while
there
I'm
shaking,
getting the
shaking you
shivers.
dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably grab him by the back of the neck.
Just a real
Yeah.
brotherhood moment there.
Just make sure he knows.
Put your hand over
who's
his
the
hand.
alpha. Yeah.
As he's here, let me show you how to do it.
It's kind of like Chubbs and Happy Gilmore when they're
Yeah.
golfing. It's all in the hip. He gets behind you.
Yeah.
All
You're
right.
doing great.
This has gotten a little too far.
Anyway.
ancient Egypt. Time frame we're looking at here: 3100 BC to 332 BC, and then Alexander the Great ransacked it. Did you know that? Because I thought Alexander the Great was a philosopher, this intellectual man, and apparently he
He's like a war general.
also conquers things.
Yeah. Wasn't it
He ransacked
Macedonia?
Egypt?
Macedonia. That
I'm
sounds
pretty
familiar.
sure. Yeah, I think that's where he was from.
Oh, that's where he's from?
Yeah, like that's a country he was.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, this began in the Nile River Valley of northeastern Africa. Whenever I think of Egypt, I never think that it's in Africa for some reason.
Egypt seems like it's its own continent
Yeah.
sometimes when you hear about it.
Yeah, I almost plug it in more with the Middle Eastern countries, I feel like.
Yeah.
Jerusalem, is that a country still?
Yeah. It's a city in Israel.
Okay, yeah, so it's not a country. It never was one, was it?
It might have been,
Jerusalem.
like when Jesus was, it might have been like a city state type deal,
Yeah, okay.
Like how Rome was a city state.
Yeah.
You're catching what I'm throwing down.
No, it's all making sense now.
So ancient Egypt was so popular that it created its own term, Egyptology.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys know that?
I didn't know
There's
that.
just so much to dig, There's so much to go through. You have to.
It's just so much sand.
Out there. They
Where do
are
we
still
start?
digging. Have you guys ever seen the movie Spaceballs?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where he's like, comb the desert. And then, what is it? It's three black guys and they got big picks.
Yeah. It's the
We
two white
ain't
guys.
found shit.
That's so funny.
I love that movie. I don't
That's
know why,
funny.
but
That's a classic. That's
Yeah.
back when movies were good.
we should have talked. Did we do? Oh, we didn't do a movies episode yet.
Not
No.
yet.
That'll be on the docket. We'll talk about Spaceballs. It's almost like, what do you call them? Cult classics? I don't know if that's a cult classic, but
that term.
Yeah, me either.
like
I get
it's like a not fantastic movie, but weirdly there's like everyone's obsessed with it. Kind of like the movie Showgirls.
So it's a really good movie. You said
Nah.
it's not fan. If
Like,
everyone's obsessed with it, then it must be a good
poorly
movie.
made because
Yeah.
it's a dumb movie, but it's funny just 'cause
Like
everyone
MacGruber.
likes it.
Like, yeah. Well, I mean, like Dumb and Dumber. You
I
know what I mean?
wouldn't-
Like
no.
you say
That's
these.
one of the top three
how do you
funniest
draw-
movies of all time.
How do you draw the line now?
I don't even want to hear you say nothing about that movie. You haven't even watched it.
All right.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, all right. Sorry.
He's like, I'm shy.
Like I came at you a little
Got me.
hot there. I'm sorry.
You're right. No, you're right. That's what because it's my personality. I'm dumb and I'm dumber, and I've never seen the movie.
Dumbest.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, that's kind of incredible. But the more people I talk to and ask them about movies, a lot of people just haven't seen Dumb and Dumber. Which are we getting
That's
old?
mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, we are.
You just keep asking these
Us-
kindergartners. Dumb and Dumber. You like that movie, right?
What's Dumb and Dumber?
What's mind-boggling?
That people haven't seen that movie.
Yeah.
Just because I believe it's no flaws in it.
I think, yeah, it holds up. It holds up the stand of time, the test of time. Is that what they say?
Yeah. It passes the test of time.
Stands the
What do
test
they?
of time.
Why do they say that?
Test
Like,
the stands of
you
time.
know when people are always say that's
Times
what
the stands of test.
test the stands of time. You know when people say like that's what they say? Who's they? Who are they always referring to? Is there a group of like theys that says everything?
It's
the
like they
barbershop.
thems. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what the they them say. Did you say barbershop?
Yeah, that's what they're saying down at the barbershop. It's
Yeah.
just everybody in that little bit of conglomeration all saying the same thing.
So really, it just stems from a bunch of barbershops. People are like, who's they? Well, the people that own barbershops and go to
It's
barbershops.
it's the quartet. Yeah, that's what they're singing
The
about
barbershop quartet.
now. Yeah.
I've always liked the word quartet. I'm gonna name my kid Quartet.
That's not the worst child name I've heard.
No, it's better than like Liam or
That's not true. I got one.
We were at the bar last night, and some guy comes up to Liam, and he goes, "Hey, what's up? What's your name or whatever?" And Liam goes, "Oh, my name's Liam Owens." And he goes, "That's your real name, huh?"
I forgot about that. Who was that? Was
They
it
get-
that tall guy?
Yeah, his name's TJ.
Yeah.
Did you throw that back at him? And your name's TJ?
No,
What's that short for? Tom Jones?
No, he goes TJ, super simple. And I go, I don't think Liam's very difficult either. But
Yeah. He's like, you got too many letters in there.
I guess so.
We'll call you Lum. So Egyptology, the study of language, history, and civilization of ancient Egypt. Liam, you've told me that there's a Minot Egyptologist.
Yeah, one of the most prolific Egyptologists actually around right now. He is from Minot.
So how do you get that designation? Like he's been over to Egypt doing stuff? He's from Minot? Does he live in Minot? Do you know?
No, that's why I said you gave me the layup here. I'm not the research guy. I don't know. I was sitting at brunch with my mom today, and she goes, "Actually, and she has his phone number." And
Is your mom Marge?
No.
Simpson?
Actually.
No, I guess I don't know. He's from Minot, and my mom, she goes down to like the Badlands and goes to museums there and stuff like that. And he might have whatever. He's got his name around here because he's an Egyptologist. And
Mark Lehner.
He does, yeah. Mark Lehner does book signings here. I think he comes around twice a year, so my mom has a signed book from him and everything like that.
Okay.
And I think he's just the research that he's done and
I think that's
places that he's been.
I think it's cool being an Egyptologist. I wonder how they get paid though. Is it a government thing, you think?
Probably grants.
Yeah.
They get paid to go over there, do some research, do some digging, comb in the desert.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you just go to government? Hey, I just want.
I think there's something over here.
We got a hunch.
Yeah.
We think it's over there, and we need some money to dig it up.
Yeah, and then they just government grant. Here's a couple million.
Yeah.
They go over there, they get drunk, and they don't do nothing. And
that's God. They got a cheat code.
Found shit.
They're like, how'd that dig up go? They're like, it's deeper. We need more money.
Need more money? Yeah, we got to keep going.
It's We thought it was gonna be just a few feet down, but turns out it's not. So yeah, Mark Lehner. Your brother also, is he like a wannabe Egyptologist?
No, my brother, he knows a lot of things about a lot of things.
Okay, what is he? Some conspiracy nut or something?
Yes.
All right.
He could tell you. There's not enough film on these cameras to record everything that he would have to say about you name it.
Let's get him as a guest on the show.
That would be wild.
What would his topic be?
We would have to go through conspiracy theories,
yeah.
which would be a part one, because conspiracy theories is going to have to be multiple episodes.
Yeah.
We could probably do like 7 episodes.
Honestly,
a mini docu-series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he in Indiana now that I've learned your family's not all here, or where's he?
Nope. I'm the only person from my Indiana side of the family here. They're all in Indiana.
So he's there.
No.
He's here.
So he's not
In
your Indiana
Stanley.
side.
No.
He's in
side.
Stanley.
Yeah.
Oh, so Stone's Throw.
Yeah. Small stone, strong arm. But
Yeah.
not far.
Fast throw.
It would have to be.
I guess not really. You could throw it slowly and then just.
See if the wind takes it.
Yeah, if you get it up into the jet stream.
Tie it to a balloon.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That wouldn't be much of a throw then. It's kind of
I could
cheating.
still throw
You
it.
can still throw it. Yeah, you can still throw it.
Okay. So your brother.
So my brother, he was just in.
Yeah.
He's like, "What are you guys talking about today?" And I was like, "Ancient Egypt."
He was like,
And
golly, oh gosh.
And then he just compartmentalized in his brain. He opened up that file cabinet and just started rifling through pages and just started saying everything that I texted you, just ripping it off.
Yeah, and we got some of them on here. So now this is all from, what's your brother's name?
Chase
Now this is all from Chase Owens.
Lindbergh.
Chase Lindbergh.
There you go.
Okay, so this is all from Chase Lindbergh. Pick it. Oh my gosh. There's a
Fish
fly.
shivers?
Yeah, a fly flew in my mouth. Take it with a grain of salt. The coordinates of Egypt is the same number as the speed of light.
There's truth to that.
I think I hear a lot of stuff about like Egypt and the pyramids. I think I could make something up, make a graphic of it, post it on Instagram, and bait everybody. And they'd be like, "Oh, that's how rumors get started, though."
That's true.
That's why we're the
Can't be having that.
That's why we're the rumor boys. It's the same distance to the North Pole as to the South Pole. I kind of believe that, just smack dab in the middle.
Mhm.
So that means it's on the equator,
Would have to be.
like on it.
Yeah. Center of it. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do they measure those kind of things? I guess like satellites.
Big ass tape measures.
Yeah. They
Chalk
They
lines.
walk it off
yep.
like you do when you're measuring out like a beanbag game.
Yeah.
10 paces.
It's 4,896,000 paces north.
They're like, "Oof, I'm off. We better
Better walk it again.
You think they do like a pass off, like a torch?
I'm at 1 million now. You keep
Yeah.
going.
Can't count any higher than that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You're only as good as your weakest link, though. You get to a guy that can't count that high.
Then you're screwed.
Buffaloed his way past the interview, so he's like, "Guys, I got this new job. What do you do? I just got to walk north." And my buddy on the other end, he walks south. We compare numbers.
What happens if we get like a midget and then Andre the Giant doing the paces though?
Yeah, God, they got to have identical people.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Same stride.
I'm sure they have an equation for midget steps compared to regular human steps.
You gotta.
Regular human, I don't know if that's really the proper term. That makes the midgets sound
It's the term we
worse.
use, so now you got to roll with it, pal.
Vertically challenged.
There we go. Little people.
Yeah.
So do we call them big people? Like if I see a 7-footer, I'm like, "Oh,
Call them
the big-
giants.
see that big person over there?"
Yeah.
We should start calling
Some
them
big
that.
fellas.
We call those
Yeah.
freaks.
Circus acts.
Yeah.
We call those people names.
Yeah.
That's what we call them. Tips of each pyramid line up with Orion's belt. That is one when I was doing my research that went there, but I feel like that constellation moves a lot. So how can it always line up?
Well, it's really far away, you see. So when it does move, it doesn't really move in the night sky.
Yeah.
Because it's a long time away. Like further than like the North Pole.
But I don't understand how it would line up because that's like if I stood on top of the pyramid, I just looked up and like,
no,
yeah, it's lined up.
I think it's when you're looking at Orion's belt and the pyramids are in the foreground and you look up, the tip is under each star because there's 3 stars in Orion's belt.
Oh, so if I was like this and then I went.
And looked up, it would line straight up.
And it'd be like the Halo theme song just.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, it's awesome.
I know.
I was at the arcade yesterday, that new Tilt arcade studio. And they have like a Halo game where you put the glasses on.
The VR game?
You're shooting the Banshees and stuff. Yeah.
Really?
Pretty sick.
Where?
In the mall where the old Shields is.
Let's go.
I'll go. The Tilt Studio, Tilt Arcade, I think it is.
I want to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like when we were at Dave and Buster's and we had those glasses on. Yeah. Except it's not.
Maybe the guy will make sure my gun works this time so I'm not just shooting nothing.
Yeah.
I was so pissed. He's
Ron
like,
was just sitting there.
they were all making fun of me. They're like, you didn't get any score. Your score's 0. You suck. And I'm sitting, the guy's like, yeah, I forgot to turn his gun on. I'm like,
Give me my tokens back.
Yeah, honestly.
I would have raised
it was literally just a VR video for me. I was sitting in there.
You went to a 3D movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I almost fell out of that car thing because it was wild.
It was pretty realistic.
Yeah.
Those videos are hilarious. People putting on VR headsets and then jumping through their walls in their living room. They just start booking it.
They just forget that they're actually not in a video game.
Yeah. That's so funny.
I wonder, I would like to line up the people that do that with IQ test scores.
I think we're going to find a direct correlation between
I'm gonna
low
need
scores.
a cumulative GPA from high school and
Because even when I was in LA, there was like rooms. So like 4 of us and we were all in our own room, probably the size of this room. And you would go there and they had a wire attached to your head.
Yeah.
Almost like you were like on a puppet string. And then you could walk in a little small circle. But like when we had to run, all you did was like this.
Just pump the legs.
And you felt weird. I did, I guess. I can't speak for the people, but I can't imagine just like sprinting into the other room. Just like running through the curtain.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, forgot.
Oops.
Forgot real life exists.
Yeah.
Genghis Khan. So they've recently discovered through tracing genealogy that the pharaoh actually had blue eyes. And Genghis Khan, which back then was unheard of for no one had blue eyes yet. It could have came from a solar flare. Now he says pharaoh. I don't know what pharaoh he's talking about. I think there were multiple.
there's a lot of pharaohs.
I don't know which one it was.
Um,
I think you said it and I forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's I don't like a solar flare. Is this something your brother said?
Yeah.
Or did he get into that?
Not really. No, I'm sure he could have, but I would like to believe that, you know, as like, you know what happens to your eyes when like you look at welding, like people welding, like it burns your eyes.
Yeah, it burns your retinas.
Yeah. So something like that.
Is that why
probably
they
would
wear
have happened.
those iRobot shields? Face
A
shields?
welding hood?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what they call them?
Yeah.
So I
Those-
think it would have
yeah.
been something like that, where it's like black people have more melanin in their skin because it protects them from the sun, because being in Africa. So
Welding hoods look like they were welded together. Like they weren't crafted properly.
some of them look really weird. Like there's on like the welders out on our job sites, it's just a circular face shield, and then the eyeglass part on the inside is a block of wood.
It almost looks like when Iron Man had to build his first suit in that cave in Titoctacland or whatever the hell cave he was in. That's what those look like.
Mhm.
And maybe I'm just judging that based on the ones I
There's a
saw.
lot of different styles of them.
Yeah,
Because it looks like he's just like, I found a scrap piece of metal. Let's put some.
Some of them are literally just a flat piece of plastic or something like that with a lens in them, and then some of them like are full on like helmets.
Yeah, I'm just thinking I've like a flat, just a metal shield that
Yeah.
goes down and you tilt it up.
Usually you wear those when you're out in the field, and then like the real hoods are
Yeah.
big ones are in the shop when you're doing stuff in the shop.
I like that Iron Man scene though. His first suit when he builds it in that cave with just a bunch of scrap metal.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was actually just trying to be a welder and he struck gold with this Iron Man suit.
And he fucked up somewhere, and now
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's shooting stuff out of his fists. Like, I don't know what happened.
This
here.
wasn't on the docket.
He
Yeah.
tried to just provide them values. Like, I'm just going to be a welder for them, help them weld anything they need. And he's like, holy shit, I'm shooting fireballs out of my hand.
I think I'm gonna roll with this.
So Graham Hancock, Broden. That's Broden's favorite
That guy
ever.
is one of the most interesting people ever. So he's a big pseudoscientist, and he does a lot of.
Good word there.
Well, it's literally what he is.
Pseudoscience, yeah.
I'm just using the
job
word
title.
that I have to
Yeah.
use. Like I can't. He's
Whoa.
He's a baker. Good word there.
Nice, man.
Yeah. But he's from.
Way to use his job title.
Yeah. He's from Scotland, and he's got a few documentaries out on Netflix. He does a lot of different podcasts with a lot of big guys like Joe Rogan, stuff
Yep.
like that.
And he focuses on ancient Egypt or what?
Yeah, well, so he believes that a long time ago there was an advanced civilization, like super advanced, that fell due to a catastrophic event, like an ice age or like a meteor or something like that.
Yep.
And then they passed down their knowledge to like early humans to
God, it's almost like he's reading it. It says, passed on their knowledge to hunters and gatherers. Is that what you're looking for? If you would have said hunters and gatherers, I would have thought you read the
early
definition
humans.
before you came over.
That's exactly what I think half the time he talks.
but which are civilizations like Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt and stuff like that.
Yep. Ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Mesoamerica I have.
Yeah.
What's Mesoamerica?
Here, just before everything else.
I think
Meso must mean before.
like the Aztecs and the Incas and the Mayans and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So South America. When I think America, I never think of,
Well, Mexico and South America. So,
yeah.
but yeah, he's got some crazy theories.
I'll have to listen to some of his podcasts and stuff because I love when people go on about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, he said ancient ice age civilization.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, there's some super advanced, like really smart beings, I guess.
Just like really smart woolly mammoths.
No,
Weren't they in the ice age?
probably.
Yeah, but that's not.
Do you know that when the pyramids were being built, that there were still woolly mammoths alive? That's how old the pyramids are.
I think I would want to ride a woolly mammoth.
They're working on bringing them back. I'm serious.
Serious?
I'm
How-
serious. Yes.
Has anyone
how do
not
you-
seen Jurassic Park? That shit doesn't go well.
How do you
I
work
know,
on
that's
that?
what I said. Scientists have like DNA or like something that they're able to biologically grow them.
They're just gonna
out of a
grow
petri
a
I mean, they
dish
can
and then-
clone sheep and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
How big are they?
woolly mammoths,
Yeah,
they're
but
like a big elephant.
yeah, but how much bigger than an elephant?
I don't know. Nathan, can you help on that?
If we could get a picture of a woolly mammoth, because I'm thinking like those big coal mining trucks.
Yeah.
I just watched Avatar, the first one, and they have those giant coal mining trucks. Like, are they that size? I like
Probably
the
not
the
that
size of the
size.
things in Star Wars with
Like
the
they're not as big as like a dinosaur, like a big dinosaur. I don't think.
oh, so it's
Is that compared to
that's
a human?
all.
They're smaller than an elephant almost.
Yeah, clone as many as you want. That thing would be my.
I'll fight it.
It'll live in my backyard,
Yeah, that's nothing.
You'll fight it.
literally. Its turn radius is probably horrible.
I thought woolly mammoths were huge.
I did too. I thought they were like,
I think it's
Wait,
in the
yeah.
name. Yeah, I think because they call them a mammoth.
Woolly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they must have been warm.
Turns out they had no hair. They're just skin, elephant
What are we
skin.
doing?
It's like, who named this thing?
The smallest.
A blind man.
Yeah.
What would be a different word we could use for mammoth instead of?
Gargantuan.
I was gonna say that.
Well, that wouldn't fit either. I'm saying something that would more resemble the size that they actually are.
Oh.
Like a woolly,
Medium.
fair-sized animal.
Yeah. A woolly little elephant.
Big elephant. So what do you guys think civilization was like in ancient Egypt? Did we learn this in high school, how they used to do, was this Egypt or was this the Aztecs where they would do the farming on the plateaus?
That was
the steppes?
Mesopotamia.
So that must have been this
Yeah,
time.
they probably
Primal
might have done
farming.
something there because they're in the Nile River Valley, which
Yep.
is that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. You want to know what I really loved about learning about Mesopotamia? The one fact that always stuck with me is what the meaning of that word is. Do you want to guess what
Mesopotamia?
Mesopotamia means?
No, I'm good.
Bro, do you want to take
It's
that?
something in the middle, like the center of civilization or
It's like the
something
center
like
of civilization, I think.
No, it means between two rivers.
Hmm.
that. There you go.
Mesopotamia.
That's what I said. The center.
The center of two river area.
Yeah.
Well, the center doesn't.
What
have
is
to
the
be between.
Tigris and the Euphrates?
Yep.
Yeah.
What'd you just say? The center doesn't have to be in between
Yeah.
because it definitely has to be in the middle.
I'm in between you guys, but I'm not in the center of you.
I would.
Right. You're saying it backwards. The center definitely has to be in between, but in between doesn't have to be the center.
Oh, it's like a square and a rectangle and a rectangle and a square.
My finger is in between my other two fingers, but it's not in the center of my fingers.
Did you know did you hear what I said?
No, not really. I kind of
Yeah,
listening
okay.
to you.
He's like, I was listening to respond and not listening to understand.
You're just waiting for the noise to stop so you can talk.
He's like, when's it my turn to get this point out?
I love this.
I was itching. That's the only thing I could. Right here.
That's a great example.
I
you
was
get.
like, that's
My
the only.
tongue.
Yeah,
That is a great example, though.
You did good.
My analogies are solid.
Yeah.
Examples and analogies. I'm your guy.
Well, yeah. When you have limited schooling, you have to figure out a way to talk to people.
try to relate and make them understand me somehow. Like when now I've mastered. Like I'm thirsty. When I tell people I want to have a drink of water, I just do this. It's so much easier than saying that.
And they bring me a cup. Yeah. Before it's like, "Ta ni hum ha." And like, what are you saying? And then you just do this, and they know. It's like, oh, he must be thirsty.
I used to go up to them and I would do this to them, and they're like, "What?" And they're like, "Now they know I want some water."
So then, do they say, "Do you want us to let you out of your cage to get the water? Or do you want us to stick it through the little?"
Just put it in the little funnel that comes in like a gerbil.
They'll suck out of the metal nipple.
He's got a big old straw.
Yeah. So they used to build mud brick homes in villages and in the country. Yeah, whatever. Mud brick homes. It's kind of like those YouTube videos that you see when you get into the rabbit hole and you wake up at 3 a.m. and then you see a couple guys just patting like mud all over, building themselves like a slide.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. I feel like you used to fall asleep to those videos.
Me?
Yeah.
I used to fall asleep to oddly satisfying video compilations, and it was
oddly satisfying.
It was just
Beheadings and
calming. Yeah, like beheadings, firing squads, stuff like that.
it's a good time. He's like, it was really satisfying to see
I'd
that.
be surprised.
Heads explode, and it's fascinating.
But no, yeah, you'd watch like people cutting sand or like the little metal beads being connected together.
Yeah, and you look at it, and there's like a sense of completion in the end. Then you're like, I can go to bed.
Yeah.
What were those little metal magnets? Like those little.
I don't know, but they're
small-
awesome.
I know. I used to fucking tear those things.
You
up,
had
dude.
some?
Oh yeah, and every time I
I
came.
don't
home
think I've
from
ever
middle
seen
school-
one in real life.
Yeah, and I'd have them like stuck to my mom's fridge, and I'd come home and I'd make a little square out of them and like a little cube, and then I'd make I don't know, like an octagon.
I've
Yeah, come on,
always
use your
wanted
way
to-
of talking. Figure it out.
I'm getting there.
I've
No,
always
not
wanted
those.
to.
He's not even talking. He's
the
like,
little metal ones, like they're all like the silver.
They're like the size of a bead.
yeah.
They're tiny.
Yeah, bead sized
I
magnets.
think my parents didn't let me have them. I was going to eat them or something. They're too small.
Yeah, I could see you eating that stuff for sure as a child.
Well, a lot of, the games where they say, keep away from small children.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Easton was 12.
Keep away from woolly mammoth children,
Yeah,
24-year-olds.
woolly little elephant children.
But yeah, because sometimes I run into those videos on TikTok and it's like, I'm not even ready to sleep. And then I'll just wake up like I got drugged. And then I look at my phone and it's one of those videos. I'm like, that makes sense. Got drugged by
Do you
that
do
video.
a lot when you wake up? Do you in the middle of the night? Do you just go on your phone?
No, but I'll be laying in bed watching it and then I'll pass out. My phone's in my hand. And then I wake up like an hour later and I'm like, how many views did I give this person? And it's the
still
same
going?
video over and over and over.
Oh my
Because
God.
on my phone, I turned it off so it doesn't auto turn off.
Yeah.
Just stays on all the time. Because sometimes when I'm working, I'll just set it on my desk. If
Mhm.
anything pops up, I can see it. So then I'll be sleeping and it's just wake up a couple hours later and it's the same video or it's some chick talking or
How
something.
do you sleep again? Why does your head do that?
Because the video I'm bobbing to.
What the hell?
What are you bobbing your head for?
And sometimes I go back
your
and forth.
you gotta get a new pillow or something, man.
Yeah, and then I go like here. I start doing like foot dances.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good in my sleep. They grew some of their own food and traded in villages for the food and goods that they could not practice. So this must have been like Minecraft. Remember when you used to play Minecraft? You just trade with villagers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it must have been like.
Yeah, they probably didn't have currency, because everybody was striving for each other,
It's just the first form of bartering.
Right. Like I'll
Yeah.
give you bread if you give me some cowhide or something,
I think we should go back to those days.
Honestly.
I have so much
Way
stuff I
back.
could trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like looking around like things
that
I wouldn't
fake
really
plant?
need. Yeah, it's like, you want this plant? What can you give me for that?
You'd be the first con man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I've always wanted to be a con man. I grew up and I must have been in high school. I watched the show White Collar and he was a con artist. And I wanted to be one so bad. I bought a lockpick set like a week after I finished the show. Just picking locks everywhere. Started to become a nuisance. Started breaking a lot of locks.
I always wanted to be Dick Tracy. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
He's an old detective from an old comic book.
Detective. I don't know what show it's from, but
I had all the like a full bed set of his stuff: sheets, pillowcases, blanket,
of Dick
everything.
Tracy.
Yeah,
Just his face. no detective stuff or nothing. Just pictures of Dick Tracy.
Yeah, it's just his fat head everywhere.
Yeah.
Really?
yeah.
Was he good looking?
He is the coolest dude ever.
How did it feel if you just were sleeping with Dick Tracy every night?
Safe.
Safe. I felt so good.
I felt
Only
like he could
place I
detect
wanted to
anything.
be.
Yeah, he was detecting every criminal or
That's-
monster or whatever. And let me tell you, he beat the shit out of him. I know it.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, since I don't own a gun and couldn't stop an intruder, I'm just gonna get some Inspector Gadget sheets.
There you go. Some
And-
Power Rangers ones, maybe.
Yeah, we'd be in the
Morphin?
clear. Morphin?
Mighty Morphin.
I'll get Morpheus
Oh.
sheets.
It's Morphin time.
That's what I tell the intruder. You're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
It's morphin time.
Yeah. Pull out the Ben 10 watch. And you're gonna have some trouble now.
Most ancient Egyptians worked as field hands, farmers, craftsmen, and scribes. No accountants or lawyers back then. There's 7 characteristics of civilizations: stable food supply, social structure, system of government, religious system, highly developed culture, advances in technology, and highly developed written language. I want to say that written language wasn't that highly developed. Have you ever seen hieroglyphs?
They are
That's highly
confusing as
developed
all
for
hell.
them.
Yeah, I'd say it's way more complex than the Arabic alphabet or whatever they call it.
Yeah, I would say they did that unnecessarily. You know, when people say, we'll just go in the back door. Was the front door work? Yeah, but just, walk around and just use the back door. It's like, why? Yeah.
Why?
That's what I feel like they were doing. They were doing the old
You
Give me
do
all the
that.
run
Run around.
You don't let people come in your front door.
side door's closer. I'm trying to make it easy. And I broke my front door yesterday. I slipped on the ice, fell into it, shoulder went into it, and it's stuck.
Is that why
Closed.
there's a hole up there?
No, that's on the inside. I fell on the outside. And I was on the
You
phone.
fell that hard?
Yeah, on the phone, stepped on it. Must have been ice on the step. What is? Oh, this is
Stepped on
the
the
phone.
phone?
I was like, what is this? Stepped on the ice.
What was I doing again?
Yeah, stepped on the ice. Fell on my right knee. Shoulder just pile drived into my screen door, and then I tried to open it, and the whole bottom's stuck there.
Oh, God.
So don't. It's because I was getting rid of the cake.
Were you running from a street cat?
Yeah, an alley cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was during the day. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been outside. It was nighttime last night though, and I was sitting on my couch.
Every night actually is nighttime.
Fun fact, yeah. And I heard some banging or something. I texted one of you guys.
Yeah,
And
It
you
sounded
thought
like
we
someone
were-
was hitting my door, and then I was like, "That's goofy."
kind of freaking me out.
Yeah, and then I was like, "I got to get my axe."
Yeah. Get your
That
Ben 10 watch. Your
Yeah.
Dick Tracy sheets.
The intruder would be so in trouble. I'll get my pocket sand ready. I just go into my room and I'm just pouring sand in my pocket. That's how you pour sand in your pocket, if you're wondering. All right, ancient Egypt. So hieroglyphs. Do you know what it means? Like the literal meaning of it?
Probably
Word.
not.
Sacred carvings. It's pretty. I like when things correlate directly to what they are.
Corn.
Corn. Yeah,
Yeah.
should mean like yellow small pieces.
Yeah, that's corn.
Yeah,
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Or
If
it
I
should
ever
be
saw it,
like-
yeah,
heavy metal rock band.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Different
what they're doing.
spelling.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, it's translate perfectly,
Yeah.
I hate things that you get the definition. It's like, okay, well, I need a definition of the definition now.
Where they got like a fancy word in the definition. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, fuck, I don't even know what the definition's telling me.
Flipping all over the Webster's dictionary, or you
Yeah.
just ask Broden.
I give up.
You're
with,
the word guy.
I give up with
Yeah,
Merriam,
right.
and I call my friend Broden and say, hey, what does this word mean? Like it's 6
And
letters.
I
think
redirect you to him.
Yeah.
Thanks
And
for-
then
thanks for the pass.
we go in a never-ending loop. And he says, hey, did you check Merriam and Webster? They've got some good stuff.
I don't want to do that. Then you ask Broden again.
If we didn't have the Rosetta Stone, we wouldn't know what the hieroglyphs say. I didn't realize the Rosetta Stone was so important.
Yeah, it was huge for like discoveries and like being able to study all these ancient civilizations.
I feel like we talked about this, but
We
where?
Somebody
How-
didn't believe it was an actual stone.
Me.
Yeah.
That's.
But who did the stone?
Who did
Them.
It was a bunch of translations of different
Just a bunch of translators
languages,
got
like
together.
Egyptian languages
Back then, it was a bunch of Egyptians and then a bunch of
Mesopotamians. or-
whatever those guys are,
Yeah.
and then another group, and then they were all around each other for so long that they learned each other's language.
Somebody carved all these languages into a rock and then had it translated, and then somebody translated it to Latin because there was like an early form of Greek or Latin on there.
So when you guys think Rosetta Stone, you didn't think like that it was smaller than the size of this table like me.
No, well, when I learned about it, I saw the picture of it, and it's huge.
See, I was thinking I could fit it in like my backpack and just
No,
go to the
It's
next
not a
big
tablet,
backpack.
no.
No.
It's an entire language.
I think they should call it the Rosetta Boulder, and at that rate, then
yeah,
a stone.
I suppose.
You know,
it
you
was at a mammoth rock,
You skip
mammoth stone.
You skip stones, okay? You don't skip boulders.
You don't skip Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, it's like maybe that's where I've been led astray
That makes sense.
because I couldn't pick up the Rosetta Stone and just fire a 7-bouncer,
No,
which is hard to do, by the
Yeah,
way.
it is. If you go 7+,
Yeah.
man, the feeling that overcomes you once you see that 7 bounce.
If I get a 7+, I'm diving in the water to get that rock back.
Yeah, I need it.
Yeah, I want to retry.
That's a fun one. Just combing the beach, trying to find the perfect skipping stone.
Yeah, it's flat enough, but it's not thick enough, Because some of them get into the air and
like paper.
Yeah,
Yep.
Helicopter
You need it
around.
to be the right weight. Yeah.
I like just grab big rocks and throwing them in
Just
and just
trying
watching
to.
them.
You just like the
Yeah, the big splash.
yeah. You just like to drop them from heights, or you just like
I like to like get one that's like, baseball or softball size
Mhm.
and just throw that thing across the whole lake.
men really are simple creatures. Do you
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
women think this? That's like I just want to throw rocks in water.
No, absolutely not.
No. Well, that's why.
There's so
That's why
much.
we're so happy.
Yeah.
Right. There's
It doesn't take much.
right. There's so much, but there is so much in the simplest things, I think.
Yeah.
It's just
What makes you happy? Really, just when I see a big rock in
Right.
water.
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
when it does
The ripples,
thing.
the ripples
Yeah.
after.
Or just
So
like
cool.
you the other day when you had that Snapchat, it says for my male audience, and it was you breaking that ice on the ground. It's just you watching.
Just
You're
toss
like,
it up.
nice.
That's what Broden falls asleep to.
Yeah.
He's like, I just Google a bunch of people
Love
breaking
that.
ice. The best are like the big flat pieces of ice
And then they
that are on
just
the top
go-
of water.
They frisbee them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And every time I see a video, I'm like,
And they make the coolest noise.
like you
on
better,
the-
you better break that.
Yeah,
lakes and the
there's
frozen lakes,
some place, that it was like really, really good for it with acoustics or something. But they skipped a rock across a frozen lake and it was like, doom, 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 doom.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Hieroglyphs were used on tombs, sheets of papyrus, wooden boards covered with stucco wash, potsherds, Oof.
Mm-hmm.
and fragments of limestone. Examples. So hieroglyphs this is kind of what we're talking about. I didn't really understand how they works, but it's literally like a picture correlates to a letter.
Right.
Yeah. So a picture of a bird represents the letter A. Picture of rippling water represents the sound of the letter N. Picture of a bee represents the syllable bat, one of the oldest forms of writing known to man. So I guess it's not all direct correlation with letters, but it's like the sounds, which would be weird to read.
Yeah.
You're like, hey,
half letters, half sounds.
look at the bird water bee. What does that mean in our stone? And he pulls a Rosetta Stone out of his backpack. It's a really big
I
backpack.
watched a video of some dude speaking all these ancient languages,
Mm-hmm.
and Egyptian was one of them. And it sounds absolutely nuts. Like you're talking to aliens.
I love being around people that speak languages I don't.
Yeah. Me too.
I was at Barnes & Noble yesterday, and I don't know if they were Filipino or some Asian country, and they were speaking very fast, and I was like, I wish I knew what they were saying.
How did they do it?
Yeah. I was
They're
like, I want to
just
know what they're
saying,
talking
Look
about.
at this dumbass over here.
Do you ever think that it always sounds like they're arguing, though? I do.
Some languages
Yeah.
sound harsh. Like a guy that I work with, he speaks fluent Russian.
Yeah.
When he talks, it's like, "Don't kill me, please."
It sounds like he's
and
sending
said
launch codes.
Yeah, and then what he just said was, "Hey, nice job today, man." And
Yeah.
it's like, huh?
Yeah, these Filipinos were just, they had the book like this, and he was talking to his wife. And I was like, it sounds like you're yelling at your wife.
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle of it. But I was like, I wish I could just hear. You know, I think
just
it's-
walk over. I couldn't help but notice.
I couldn't help but notice. I have no idea what you're saying, but it sounds not great. So if you want to just take it easy on it.
You guys doing all right over here?
Yeah. If I could have superpower, you know the superpower question?
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be to speak any language.
That'd be
That's
a fun
not
one.
a superpower.
That's just studying language.
Just the power.
Yeah, not really. Yeah.
Just applying yourself.
It's just a skill.
Just deciding to.
Yeah. That's the question I'm going to start asking people at the bar. Not if you could have any superpower. It's, hey, if you could have any skill.
That's like,
what would it be?
Yeah. What superpower would you have? To not be allergic to peanuts.
Yeah, I guess.
Just be normal.
Yeah.
Skill. I wish I knew what debit and credit, the difference between the two was. Like, that's a skill I could teach you, actually. Get them into a program.
Yeah, you
It's actually
carry
just
around
a sales pitch.
a bunch of pamphlets with you. Let me break this down for you.
All right, let's talk about some pharaohs. I guess I don't really have any pharaoh things on here. You guys have a favorite pharaoh?
Probably King Tut.
King Tut.
Yeah.
The
That's
young
the only
guy.
one that's the only one I got
There's
on here.
Ramses, Cleopatra, a bunch of other guys.
Who was Nefertiti
I think that was a god.
of love?
Yeah.
We probably talked about that in the gods episode. What was
Right.
that episode on again?
Greek mythology, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. Did you know my dad calls himself the pharaoh?
Really?
When he plays craps, yeah. Calls himself the pharaoh. And he has an Ankh necklace.
A what?
An Ankh.
What is that?
It's a cross, but instead of the top part of the cross being straight up, it's like a loop. So it's like a cross and then a loop on top.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I know what you're talking
And
about.
it's an Ankh, an Egyptian Ankh. And what an Ankh is, it's an object resembling a cross but have loop instead of a top arm, used in ancient Egypt as a symbol of life. So when he plays craps, he has he'll pull out his Ankh necklace. And he actually bought it. So the story we have is we were in Vegas and we were playing craps. And he said, we walked past this jewelry shop the day before. And he's like, God, I really want to buy that necklace.
Yeah.
And it was the Ankh. And I was like, well, just get it, man. He's like, I don't know if I need it. You check the price, it's like $150. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm not going to get it. I'm like, God, come on, we're in Vegas. He's like, no, I'm not going to get it. Next day, he goes, we go down and play craps. And he goes, you hit one box cars. If you hit a box cars, it's $150. You hit one box cars while you're throwing. I'll go buy that necklace. About 20 minutes in, he puts it on there. He's like, do it for the necklace. And I throw the dice, hits box cars, immediately takes that 150, puts it in his pocket. He's like, that's my necklace money. and then the next day we go back to get the necklace and the price is 150 or whatever. I was like, dude, it's Vegas. Don't even pay 150. I was like, tell him to give him 100.
Yeah.
And he's like, would you do 100? He's like, yeah, I'd do 100. And I was like, look at that. You got $50 profit.
That's awesome.
That's how he got his Ankh necklace, and now he wears it. It's nice and gold. It's a big pendant too. Yeah, I'll have to have him send it. Well, he'll be here later, so you guys can see it. Well,
That's
hopefully he's wearing it. But yeah, he calls himself the Pharaoh.
The Pharaoh.
So for Christmas, we got him a T-shirt, and what's the big Sphinx?
Mhm.
Yeah,
The big head. Yeah, and it's got it looks like it's got like a bandana hair thing.
the thing going on.
Yeah, whatever you call that. I don't know. But yeah, the Ankh. Famous pharaohs, Cleopatra. We talked about that one. That's probably a pretty famous one. King Tut. Did you know that when I was looking, well, you didn't know when I was looking this up, but when I was looking up
Tutankhamun.
Tutankhamun. Is that what it is?
I think
that was
so.
close, right?
Yeah.
It's in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Tutankhamun. Yeah, that makes so much more sense, actually. I didn't know that that's who King Tut was.
Yeah.
And then I had to search. I was like, what was King Tut's real name? And that popped up. He ascended into king at age 9 or 10, but he was only there for 9 years. I can't believe they're kings so young.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's a lot
Well,
of
he was the next in
responsibility.
line. You know,
I guess. What do you
dad.
do as a 9-year-old king?
You
Eat
make
sugar?
a lot
A lot
of
of chocolate bars.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pixie sticks?
So he doesn't bring you a snack at snack time. They're losing their head. You know.
Do they get naps still, I
Where
wonder?
the hell are my Legos? Like,
They probably had Legos then.
yeah, some sort of
The only-
That's what pyramids
blocks.
are.
Yeah.
Big Legos.
So King Tut, he's actually only known for his intact tomb. So that's actually why, like, I don't know if he did anything.
Breaking the seal on King Tut's tomb. There's
Yeah.
supposed to be a curse with it.
Ooh.
And apparently some of the guys that died after they did that.
No, they didn't.
Really?
Go ahead. Is it in the notes?
It's not in the notes. It's not true.
not in the notes.
Nathan, go ahead. Look that
It's
up.
not in the
I
notes.
think
It's not true. Breaking the seal. Is that what they call it? Pissing when you break the seal?
Exactly.
Yeah, it must be.
There's a curse to it.
every
Piss.
time you break the seal,
You're going to wake up drunkard and shit.
King Tut curses you with a hangover. You know why they put them in tombs?
Preservation.
I think they put them in there with they mummified, and they were really good at mummifying
really
bodies.
Yeah.
And I have the process we're gonna go through. It's ridiculous.
Of mummifying them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they put them in there with all their valuables so they would have stuff to take into the afterlife.
Yep. So to protect the dead and provide the deceased with a dwelling equipped with necessities for the afterlife. So they must have thought it was almost like a cruise. Like, hey, we got to get you some stuff for going there.
Right.
Like a cruise? Is that what you said?
Like their view on death was like, they thought it was like good for them. Like they were moving on to like a higher being, you know what I mean?
Kind of like the Vikings in Valhalla and stuff like
Right,
that.
yeah.
It's like you want to die pretty much because everyone's there waiting for you. On the
yeah,
other
like
side.
an honorable death is
You gave them their tickets. Enjoy the afterlife, man. Your seat 7B. He's like, is that window? He's like, I don't know. I think it might be in the middle.
I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
Pass. Double it. Give it to the next guy.
Double it and give it to the next guy. Actually, could you just resurrect me? I want to take the next flight out. So yeah, they would mummify. Nathan's got something for us before we can go into the mummification process.
I do. The guy who discovered King Tut died 2 months later from blood poisoning of an infected mosquito bite. And they did look into
coincidence? I think not.
They looked into like the other
Could've
people
been
who have
anything.
like been in that same situation where they found something and then checked to see if like when they died later, if it was like a percentage of the people was over like 50%, they'd be like, yeah, there might be something to it, but the math didn't check out.
But he was the
Yeah.
only guy. He was the guy that discovered King Tut.
What would you do if you went into a tomb and you're like, I'm gonna fuck with King Tut's coffin, and then you go in there and he's just sitting there looking at it. He's like,
Don't do that.
No, you're not.
I don't think you're gonna. Yeah.
I don't think you're allowed to leave after that.
Yeah.
I think
Probably not.
He's gonna dispose of you.
Like
You could try.
the Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah, those are good movies.
Mummification process. So it starts with announcing the death. They sent out a messenger to tell everyone about the death. It's like an Egyptian Paul Revere. You just run around and be like, so-and-so died. Did they
Somebody
only
just-
mummify pharaohs? Or was it just
Probably nobility, I would guess.
Yeah. It wouldn't just be like random people. I
So-
think there was a
like-
lot of slaves back then.
a farmhand didn't get?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then they would embalm and purify the body. They brought the body into a tent called an ibu, washed the body in good-smelling palm wine, and rinsed it with water from the Nile River. Then they would discard the brain from the dead body. Embalmers inserted a special hooked rod through the nostrils directly to the skull, thus breaking the brain apart to make it drain out. Ugh.
Damn. Did you know that your brain has the consistency of soft butter?
Really?
Like
Yeah.
cabinet soft.
Cabinet butter.
Yeah. Yeah, right now. Like that's in your head right now. Shaking around. That's soft butter in there.
There you go. There you go.
Thanks.
I don't believe that.
It's true.
You tell me if I had a nice butter knife that I could just scoop a piece of my field of balm.
Yep.
Huh?
You don't have to be that close to it, Jim. You don't have to
do
make
it.
a scene. What is it called? What's the front lobe?
The cerebral
Frontal lobe.
cortex?
Yeah,
The
there's-
frontal
I thought
lobe
something
is-
started with a
Is
T.
the frontal lobe.
The T?
There's the
Yeah.
hypothalamus. and
Thalamus. That's the word I was going for. Yeah, that's in the back, like by the end, right?
I think
Back
that's
there?
kind of
No.
towards. I don't know. I
What's
don't
the thing
know
that
all
just
the
connects?
anatomy of the brain. That's the.
Well, I know the back of your head is your occipital cortex because it controls your eyes.
Uh,
I think is what
we'll
that
do
is.
an episode on anatomy.
Yeah.
Occipital lobe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Because
There's
I remember an old story. I mean, heard this forever ago, and it's like one of those things where you hear it, you're like, "Holy shit!" Because it was this kid. He was getting bullied back in like grade school, and the bully hit him in the back of the head with a book, and it hit him like just right on the back on his occipital lobe, and he went blind. Crazy.
So okay. So if you really want, like, you want to not see forever, and you just karate chop the back of someone's neck.
It's a hard book, right? Hard cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to not?
It's kind of like
It's
when
like
people
we're-
hit your pressure
Don't
points.
make me.
It's how you earn your blindness right there.
Yeah.
that is
Earned
so-
blindness,
that is
folks.
Earned blind. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so wild.
And then we can see if they actually do have a sixth sense. That's how I'm gonna start doing that to people. It's for an experiment.
Like I did know that like if you hit someone like in the back of the head, like you can do stuff like that. Do you think ever like medical people have been like, maybe if we hit the front of the head really hard with a book, we can bring his eyesight back?
I'm sure that was one of the first things they
yeah.
exhausted. They're like, let's hit him with a book.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Let's just replicate it, and maybe it'll
The
like
opposite way.
right.
Yeah.
It's just like when you got a problem with your computer, you just turn it on and off again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just hit them again.
Just go to sleep.
Yeah.
God, what kind of doctor would be like, let's just beat the shit out of this kid? Just keep hitting him with a book. See what happens. Like, what if he dies? Oh, it's for science.
What if they did that
I
for
guess
you?
we'll know not to do it to the next one.
When you had your injury playing hockey,
Yeah.
and they were like, well, let's just do it again and make him feel better.
No, thank you. I'll pass. Double it and pass it to the next. All right, where are we at? Tombs. Oh, mummification process. Yeah. So discarding the brain. They thought the brain really meant nothing, and they would just throw in the garbage. So every other organ they would save, and they'd put it in these like urn-looking things. In the brain, they're just like, it's useless. That's most useless part of the body.
Make soup with it.
And they just had no idea. What am I? Chopped liver? People should start saying, what am I, chopped brain?
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be some kind of correlation because, have you ever heard the natives, their old thing about tanning hides? That I think we talked about this once before. That there's an old native saying that God gave every animal just enough brains to tan its hide because after they killed an animal, they would take its brain out and then smear it all over the hide to tan it, preserve it.
Yeah, maybe they did that with the mummification process.
Apparently not.
Wrapped them up in like toilet paper and then just. You think Charmin was out back then?
Had to have been.
Probably
at least like 4-ply. So you would have to think.
I wonder if that's where Liam figured out how to wipe his ass with 3 sheets. Yep, he's got the motion down.
It's there, dude.
Down pat. So they used to put all the the organs in a small coffin-like container called a canopic jar. And there's about 4 of them. They were like correlated to the different gods. I don't know what the heads were, but they had like animal heads on top of them. So it's like the liver and intestines went into this one because of this. I thought it was useless information, so I didn't put them on there. But if you want to do your own research, coffin jars. No, not them. You guys.
Oh yeah, I don't care.
That's what I was thinking when I was doing it.
I got way better things to do.
Then they would dry out the body. This process took 40 days.
Wow.
So they would like put them on a tilted thing, like a ramp, and then just let all the moisture come out, and they'd collect it in a bowl.
Make soup with it.
Yeah,
and then
cereal.
with the brains, yeah.
Jesus, then they would stuff the body. They'd wash it in the Nile, and then rub it down with oil to maintain the skin's elasticity. And then they would stuff it with sawdust and linen cloth to make it look real. Were these people fucking geniuses?
Yeah, they were really smart.
Like I don't even know if obviously I'm not an embalmer.
The mortician.
But I would not even think about like how we got to keep the skin elasticized.
Let's cover it in oil.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably,
It's just sacred for them, The death was sacred, so they tried to make everything.
What kind of oil, I wonder? They probably didn't have like Jergens back then.
No, they
extra
probably
virgin olive.
Yeah. Avocado oil, maybe a little bit of coconut. They were in Egypt. Palm trees
extra
around.
virgin.
Coconut oil. That's a versatile oil right there. You do a lot of things with that.
Wrapping up the body and adding amulets is what they would do next. They'd wrap them in whatever their cloth stuff was, and then they'd actually glue them.
Oh.
So really, that'd suck if you weren't alive. Or if you were alive and they're wrapping you up, and then you're really not getting
Well, after
You've already been making like a raisin for 40 days.
You literally just blew your brain into a Kleenex.
They already took the fish hook up there, and it's just like one of those old like hand powered screwdrivers and this
bacon like a raisin. This would be a long process, man. 40 days for one body.
Well,
how many embalmers were there?
They just got it sitting right there, letting all the fluids run out, I guess.
Ugh.
Did they have them head down or feet down?
Yeah, they would open up the mouth.
Feet.
Head down, open up the mouth, let everything fall out.
You sure?
He's saying that.
Yeah, I had you guys though, didn't I?
They just cut holes in
The
their
whole confidence thing. They just poked holes in their toes and let everything come out through the.
They cut holes under their toenails. And
Yeah, just ripped off the toenails and
had to do something. I mean, how is it just gonna fall out all the fluid? Like, what about all the muscle and everything? Like, then is that what they're stuffing with the sawdust and?
Maybe I don't
know. I got a lot of questions.
They were good at it. Whatever they did, it worked.
They would. So actually, now I know what they did. They would stuff. So they'd tilt the body like that. Hey man, I got an answer for you.
Nice.
And they would stuff inside of them. Stuff inside of them to soak up the moisture, and then that would be collected inside of the bowl.
Okay.
So it wasn't like it was dripping off of them. I like to think it's more cool if it is though.
Right. It's not like a raisin or something.
Yeah. Like a grape. And
Yeah,
then
grape to
all
a
of a sudden
raisin.
it's a raisin. Yeah. I had some cotton candy grapes today. Man, oh man.
Cotton candy grapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
grapes, but they taste like cotton candy.
They're upstairs. You can have one after the show.
They're good.
Deal.
I haven't had one in a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
I almost nutted when I had it.
Okay.
Final decoration. They'd use jewelry and other things to decorate the mummy, like fake eyes. So they put fake eyes over their mummified body. It's just googly eyes.
Like imagine
Yeah.
like before you die, you just get to pick what you want for your eyes, and you just
You
pick.
walk through.
That'd
Hey,
be
you're dying
tough.
next week. What do you want? You go through a catalog.
Yeah,
Like,
go to
I
the
want
eye
you to
store.
grab these 2 rocks and close the eyes. But then when at my funeral or whatever, I would like draw some tits on them or something. Just open my eyes.
You actually get to do the arts and crafts before you're making your own rock eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, put it in this box. We'll use it
Or
next
if you're
week.
just a real baller, you throw some like gems in there or something like that.
That's what I was thinking. Have some kind of like blue rubies or something like
Right.
that. Yeah.
Or they want to be
Iced
covered
out.
in jam. Like if they're like, hey, when I die, cover me in jam.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe that's just their wish.
Yeah, they could be.
I want to play a prank. I want you to put a little turd in there.
Then the last ritual, members of the family would walk to the tomb and cry out loud through the city. So they
Cry
just
out
walk through and they'd just be crying. And
Somebody would
mourning.
be sitting there just silently sobbing, and you'd be like, louder.
No, that's actually what they thought. So they thought the more mourners, the increased chance of them going to the afterlife was. So they'd walk around the city just and just. I like to think it's fake crying. It's got. Well, I mean, I'm sure they're sad, but
At some point, yeah, I think you run out.
Yeah,
You
it's like,
have
how
to
many-
run out. Is there a limit of tears?
I don't know.
and it's like, have you guys seen the movie Hot Rod?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where at the very end, where the whole city's like coming together down the road, it's like, see the voice, and everyone's like collectively, and then they all start crying and going to the tomb.
It's got to be it.
Yeah, that song is called "The Voice," by the way, by John something.
John Cougar Mellencamp.
Mm-hmm. I don't think so. I think
don't
it starts
know.
with a T. I think it's Tron. No, it's Tron
Travolta.
All right, let's talk about the pyramids. Any guesses on why the pyramids were built?
They were tombs. Well,
That's not entirely.
there was tombs in them, but they
Different chambers. Some of them they weren't entirely tombs though.
no.
I think there was actually some form of electricity
In the tombs?
generated by the tombs.
You lost me.
There's a lot going on here.
I think-
it far surpasses what I know, but
You're
I
just gonna
think
throw
what-
that to us and
I'm
let us
just
chew
gonna
on that
throw it
one.
out the way, yeah, because
Here's
there's
a bone.
look it up. There's something there. I haven't dug into it, but it's a lot of stuff with like the different, like the pressure, the way the chambers are lined up with like how the different sounds and frequencies operated. With there's a lot going on there. That these people are
think-
smart.
I think I know what you're talking. It's like how you get in them and stuff like that. The way you would be able to get in, because you would never be able to push these stones or move them because they're
Why do
huge.
I feel like back then people were all idiots. Like you never think smart people were back then, you know?
Right.
Life had to keep going though.
Yeah,
They
but
were
like,
the
I think
ones
they knew what they
figuring
were
it out,
doing.
though.
Were there any like really smart scientists in ancient Egypt? Like it's hard to believe that. I know there probably were, but I just correlate it too much to the cavemen days.
Well, I mean, you think of like Einstein and them guys, like they just showed up on Earth. Like they were born they didn't just, obviously, they didn't
From a
show up.
spaceship.
Yeah.
They're like, have these two.
But they're just smart.
Yeah.
Like they're just born into being like they're gonna be scientists because they're too smart. Like that's what they're doing. And
Too smart. They're like, you got to do something other than what us regular
I just
folk
want
are
to be a
doing.
Yeah.
bank teller. No.
You
Nope.
can't. You have to.
You're doing astrophysics.
You're doing this E equals MC squared thing. We don't know what it means, but that's yours.
Yeah.
So yeah, you think back then, I mean, even on that scale, they had to have people that were smarter.
I suppose, especially if they're going to build them.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why I'm not talking about like how they built the pyramids. I'm talking about why they were.
No, I'm talking about how you get in them. Like
Go on.
how you like enter the different
Chambers.
chambers and stuff. It's something to do with what you were talking about. Like the different air pressures and like there's water in there and that. Yeah. I'm not
There's a lot.
exactly sure, but there's a lot going on. Was it something to do with the gods? They build them because of the gods?
It says they're monuments to house the tombs of the pharaohs.
Oh,
Well,
so I was right.
That's one. I mean, that's
speculation.
one of the, yeah. According to this.
According to the notes.
According to the true
Because they
notes.
said death was seen as merely the beginning of a journey to the other world. So them getting on their cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, and that's where they line up with Orion's belt. They thought they were just blasting them off to those
Into
stars.
space.
Yeah.
The construction process, builders made plans and they were watched over by a manager called a vizier. The pyramid sides always ran parallel to the north and south and east and west axis. And the builders didn't have compasses and there was no North Star at the time. So how they line that up baffles me. Everything about this. So all of like the measurements you see all the time online where it's like, oh, they're not even they're 2 centimeters off. That's as far off as they are. And if they're any more than that, the whole thing would be fucked up by the top.
Right. Yeah. When they're laying the stones out, if they don't center the next layer, that it would be lopsided or whatever.
That's why I like to think it wasn't built by people.
Well, I like to think that anybody can go, well, this is this long, no matter what language you speak or what numbers you use.
Mm-hmm.
If we do this in the middle, we can figure out where the middle is. You know what I mean?
So you're on their side.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think maybe sometimes, I don't know how they did it,
yeah.
but I think people like to overcomplicate it a little bit.
You think it's doable?
Well, yeah.
You think we can build them today?
Yeah, but what about the fact that the stones are like, they weigh
2 tons.
tons and tons?
Yeah. 2.5 tons,
Yeah.
Each one of those blocks is 2.5 tons.
5,000 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that they were like carved in a quarry, like a long ways away from wherever Cairo. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got some things on how people think they move them. So there's actually 2 main theories about the leveling method. So actually putting the rocks there because everything's perfectly leveled and everything. So the first one is workers poured water into the excavated site and leveled all material above the water line. Then they lowered the water level and removed more material, continuing the process until the foundation was level for where they started building them. The builders, this is the second theory, the builders installed posts at regular intervals. A line leveled with plumb bobs was pulled taut across the posts at a reference mark to ensure alignment. God, Nathan, it sounds like I'm talking to you. Pulled taut, plumb bob. He's talking about self-leveling, drywall screws, anchors, anything else you want to throw in there?
Construction guy.
Yeah. So it's just a bunch of Nathans building these pyramids.
Yeah, definitely. Guys who know what they're doing.
I think us 4 could figure it out. We could build a
got
small
Nathan.
sized one in the backyard, I think.
Do we do it in yours?
Yeah.
Sure.
I need something
What do you want to build it out of?
Something.
back there. I got nothing but a tree and a shed.
We need a
What do we
pyramid.
build out of?
Yeah. Do you want to do rocks or do you want to do logs?
What's going to, probably rocks. It's going to stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want my tomb back there.
That's what I was thinking. That's what we'll bury you.
We could,
That'd
dude,
be
you
awesome.
could do that, I think.
Legally? Can
Like,
I
you
get
can
a tomb?
a permit to bury yourself in your backyard, I think.
Like
What
ali-
episode
alive?
were we talking about? That we were talking about someone being buried in
Burying
my
celebrities
backyard.
in your
or
backyard. Yeah.
something like that.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah. Who do you want? Yeah.
I would love, I'd bury Tiger Woods
that's
back
what
there.
we were talking about.
I put a Tiger Woods tomb in my backyard.
Yeah.
I'll put one in the front yard.
Would you go dig up Michael Jackson and put him back there?
No, because I think once you start digging people up, weird shit starts happening
Yeah. It depends
on who you dig up.
Yeah.
on where you dig it.
Yeah.
How you
I
dig
don't
it?
know.
Are you
I don't really like
respectful
the
about it?
ghost stuff very much. Nathan, you got something for us?
Yeah. I did like what Broden was saying about wanting to be like you can be buried wherever you want.
Yep.
With a permit, not in North Dakota.
Damn it.
But there is some states where you can. But I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. So it says no dead human body may be buried in this state except in a properly registered cemetery.
Register
So
your cemetery.
That's
in
all
the
you gotta
backyard,
do. You
yeah.
just gotta register a cemetery.
And also,
I was gonna say.
you guys can. be my
If you just
cemetery.
went out to the middle of nowhere, because
Three
there's a
dude
lot
cemetery?
of middle of nowheres in this state, I'm sure you could bury hundreds of bodies.
That's true.
I have,
Yeah, I knew that was coming out of you.
and I will continue to.
Yeah, hundreds more. Pyramid out of dead bodies in your backyard.
my-
There we go.
Yeah, that's what we'll make him out of.
We better get to killing. Workers used copper and stone cutting tools to carve out the blocks in the quarry. So that's what I don't know. How the hell? I've tried to chip a rock before, and it's not that easy. And these are big rocks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how
Boulders
big.
even.
They're stones. Some might say.
Did you try it with copper?
Mammoth.
No.
There you go.
Is copper sharp?
Can be.
It's
You can make-
metal.
you can make a
Yeah,
lot
It's
of things
harder.
sharp.
A little
Is it
bit
hard
harder.
metal? Yeah.
It's harder
It's
than
the hardest metal. Iron.
Mm,
But like
Steel, maybe?
if I'm making a tool,
The hardest metal.
Like if I'm making a tool.
It's an alloy. Probably, like steel is an alloy of carbon and iron and something else.
I don't know what that helps me with as far as my question goes, but
I'd say.
what is the hardest metal that if I was going to make a.
That's why I just
cutter-
said it's an alloy. Steel.
Yeah,
That was my guess.
Well, why don't you just say steel?
because it's an
Why
alloy.
are you throwing alloy at me? I think you're no longer an ally.
Whoa.
You have gone too far.
That draw the line right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so steel.
Read the notes.
Okay. No one knows how laborers were able to get the 2.5 ton stone blocks from the quarries to the building site. That's on Google.
Does it say how far it was?
No,
Logs.
it was far. Wheels wouldn't have been useful on the desert, sand, and gravel, so they most likely dragged the blocks with wooden sleds and ropes.
Sounds horrible.
Sounds miserable.
Just 32 guys pulling a.
Were there slaves back then?
Oh, yeah,
Like, were
they had
slaves doing this?
Lots.
Lots. More than you'd want.
Like, this is like
Well,
the most advanced
They
civilization.
probably wanted more
I'm
to
sure
get the
they
job
did.
done quicker. Egyptologists estimate that workers placed about 300 stones a day during pyramid construction.
Holy shit.
That sounds like a lot.
That's more than I think they would do now.
Yeah. I imagine. Well, were they union?
The slave union?
Yeah, we got to start asking the big questions here. Did
Yeah.
they get their breaks?
Probably 15
Coffee's
minutes.
at 9:30.
Yeah.
We're not missing
300
it.
a day.
That's a lot.
Imagine a 10-hour day.
How many of them?
What's that, 30 an hour?
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah. Jeez.
Math guy.
30 an hour. That's one every
Scared
2
guy,
minutes.
math guy. Yeah.
One.
yeah.
What did you say?
One every 2 minutes
in a 10-hour day. If it's
with no breaks.
Wow.
They're not even counting for getting tired.
That's why there's a
somebody
lots of
getting
slaves.
crushed by 5,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's no stopping. Like, they don't shut down the site if somebody dies,
Yeah. There's no PPE.
Yeah.
Nathan's got something.
I think the only way that they could have done it is by getting a bunch of David Goggins
Yeah. David Goggins is nuts.
just screaming all day long.
Who's going to carry the stones?
That's gonna
That's
be
what he'd
it.
be yelling.
Yeah. Good for him.
Those in the know generally accept the ramp idea, but they debate the exact ramp configurations on getting the stones up the pyramid.
Pulley system.
Yeah.
Cogs.
Cogs, cost of goods sold.
Nope.
Oh,
Like, you know what a cog is?
It's like a gear
Yeah.
type deal.
No, I
Gears,
didn't know
gears
that.
and cogs. Yeah. So
Yeah, I
you know,
just
it's like,
thought,
like something gets 50% lighter when you're pulling it from around.
I didn't know that was the number.
Something like that.
Hmm.
It's in the, there's ratios. There's a way.
There's books on it.
There's stuff how to do it. Yeah.
Let's get into some conspiracy theories and then we'll wrap this up. A lot of people say aliens built them. Fun. I like to think that too
The
sometimes.
Anunnaki.
The Anunnaki.
That's the
aliens?
what. That's what. Yeah. That's what
We're naming
Graham
aliens
Hancock
now?
talks about. That's one of his theories.
Okay, that the aliens built them.
Yeah, Anunnaki. It's the planet 9. If you ever heard about that theory or whatever, there's the
Pluto?
9th planet out there. No, Pluto's not a planet
It was the 9th planet, though, wasn't it?
for a little bit.
Speculation.
But
Did you say next question?
I said speculation.
Oh, he's over it. He's like, fuck.
it's
next.
all hearsay.
Yeah. I think Pluto's a planet. I'm going to go ahead and say it is because when I was a young man,
I grew up.
it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
You can't change it now on me.
Pluto became not a planet on my birthday.
Happy birthday. That's what I told you.
It was the worst birthday gift ever.
Yeah.
Assholes.
A lot of Americans died on my birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
When's your birthday?
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Not on my birthday. I mean, the day my birthday was.
You die, or you were born when a lot of Americans died
Yeah.
on the anniversary of it.
So two bad things happened one day.
No.
Thanks, man. I'm just joking. That was the best thing that happened.
Come on.
For me.
I was.
For me.
If I would have
almost
been born,
went
I
left
would have been
field with
upset.
that right there.
A lot of people say Noah built the Great Pyramid. Noah, I think the one
From
with the
Noah's
ark.
Ark?
Yeah. If he could build that ark, dude, he could build those pyramids.
No.
Really?
What?
Yeah. Well, he did build that ark.
Yeah.
With his, I think he built them by
I
himself.
think
too.
it was the time of Moses, though, which was well after Noah. These don't line up here.
Yeah. This was all BC.
Hey, I didn't.
This is all BC.
Hey,
That's what I said.
Noah and Moses are all BC.
hey,
That's what I said.
Yeah.
hey! I didn't start this conspiracy theory. Okay,
Okay, but
Finish it.
like Easton. This is not making sense. You can't claim that.
Yeah, why would you say that? It doesn't make any sense. It's supposed to be a conspiracy theory.
Satan built the Great Pyramids is another one.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Some people say the Great Pyramid foretells the date of the apocalypse. I've heard a bunch of things saying the date of the apocalypse. So Nostradamus, the biggest con man out there.
Yeah. I read somewhere that Isaac Newton predicted the world's going to end in like 2060 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Fuck's
know.
he know.
The Mayans said
Probably.
2012. Everybody else said Y2K. Everybody else said June 6, 2006.
Remember 2008, was it?
2012.
Oh, yeah, 2012. I was in history class
Or
we were
Conan.
in.
when I remember that. Irwin's class.
Yeah.
My boy. You're my boy, Blue. Israel is plotting to steal the pyramids.
Steal.
I don't know how they're going
Is
to do
this like
that.
Despicable Me when he's trying to steal the
Yeah.
moon and shit?
Yeah. I don't know how. Maybe they're just going to claim them. It's like, these are ours now.
I
Put a
suppose because
fence?
they were
Yeah, I don't
built
think they can
by
move them.
built by Jewish slaves.
Yeah.
So maybe they are gonna try and claim them. I don't know.
Levitation was used to build the pyramids.
Oh, little magic, little hocus
Yeah.
pocus.
David
Mhm.
Blaine was the one that was actually
Yeah.
constructing it.
Chris Angel and David Bladen were just whipping these fuckers out.
Who's David Blaine? Is Chris Angel the long-haired one?
Yeah.
The pyramids are right next to the city. Have you seen the pictures? I
Yeah.
just thought they were out in the middle of nowhere until
They are right there.
yeah, it's literally like you walk from Egypt and take a couple steps. Like fuck, those are the pyramids right there.
Mm-hmm.
Great Pyramid has over 2 million blocks. They've been looted by grave robbers, and they were once covered in limestone.
Really?
And they've also shrunk over the years.
Erosion.
Must be getting cold there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
About that. We're going into an ice age.
I would love to live through an ice age. That'd be fun. I think
I don't think it
as
would
long
be.
as I know I didn't die. I'd be like 10,000 BC with the bow and arrow and the face paint and the woolly
Got a
mammoths.
woolly,
Yeah.
smaller
A
man.
pet saber-toothed tiger, and
Yeah.
you guys are just out there booling.
That'd be the way to do it.
All right, that's episode 29 on ancient Egypt. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Next week we'll have the merch giveaway person announced. Leave a rating, review, follow us on all the socials. Anything else?
Leave a
gentlemen?
comment if you got any theories on ancient Egypt.
Leave a comment
I'm
on ancient
interested to read
Egypt.
them.
Chase Lindbergh.
Yeah.
Thank you for the outline of the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next Tuesday for another episode.